Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. Today I have a client tutorial. So I'm just going to start off by cleaning off her face with some witch hazel on a cotton round, just to make sure all the oil and whatever she had on her face is off. I'm going in with a moisturizer, Max Strobe Cream in Gold Light, and just applying that with a stippling brush all over her face. I'm using this because it gives a glow and because I like it better on people with more dry skin. This is actually a really good moisturizer. It's like one of my favorites. I'm going to jump into the brows. I'm actually using the NYX Micro Brow, I think. And I'm just going to fill in her brows. She has really full eyebrows, so I like to fill in hers slightly, just to make them look a little bit more bushier. I really do like that bushier look lately, so that's what I'm going to do on her. The color I'm using is actually like a slightly lighter color than her eyebrows, so I'm not going too overboard and too dark too fast. Then I'm going in with some brow gel just to comb them up and make them stay in place. I'm just taking some concealer and a flat concealer brush and just cleaning up the bottom of the eyebrows, just to make them look a little bit more, I guess a little bit more neater. And I only do this on the bottom, and then I just bring the concealer down and use that as a eye base. I'm going in with this skin tone color eyeshadow and a fluffy blending brush and just slightly setting that concealer. I'm taking that medium tone brown from the palette and with a medium size fluffy brush and just adding that to her crease. And when you do that, you kind of want to lift up her eyebrow a little bit just to make the surface a little bit more smoother. And I'm taking that dark orange color with a more pointier fluffy brush and concentrating that a little bit on the crease and on their outer V. So I will blend it on their outer V first, and then I will bring it up into the crease. I'm taking the ColourPop's I Think I Love You palette, and I'm going to take that dark brown shade with a more precise blending brush. If you notice, the brushes are getting smaller and smaller. The more concentrated you with the color, the more smaller the color needs. The brush needs to be. And just adding that into her outer V just to give it a little bit more depth. I'm just taking a blending brush and just making sure everything in her crease is just nice and blended and no harsh lines. I'm going back to that Shayla palette and taking that dark purple and just adding that again to the outer V. I wanted it to be a little bit more darker, so I just went in and did the same steps I did with the other dark color. And then I just took that dark orange again with that fluffy blending brush and just added that into the crease again, just to blend the dark color with that crease color. Now I'm going in with that beautiful green from the Shayla palette and adding that onto her lids, and I slightly dampened the brush, and I'm using like a flat eyeshadow brush for that. I'm taking that gold from the same palette, and with a small detailed brush I'm adding that into her inner corners just to make the eyes look a little bit more open. I'm just going back with the fluffy blending brush just to make sure all the edges are well blended. I'm going back in with that dark purple color and just adding some more to the outer V because I lost that when I added some of that green lid color on her lids. I'm going back to the I Think I Love You palette and taking like the lightest gold shade in there and adding that to her inner corners. Then I'm taking that ColourPop eyeshadow, I think it's called Birthday Girl, and just popping that on the lid just to give it a little bit more shine. I'm going in with brown gel liner and just adding that to her top lash line. I went with the brown because of the whole like warm color look. I just wanted to use all warm colors, and I kind of like the way the brown came out on her. And when I use any gel liner, I like to add that into the waterline. It's just easier just to go right in with that the same product that you're using on the top. And I think they last a little longer. And when you add in liner, you have to add some to the top waterline. It's called tight lining. If you don't do that, it can look a little funny and like kind of baldish. But yeah, you have to do that. I'm gonna pop some lashes on her. These lashes I got from Shop Miss A, and they were only $1, and they're like really good. They're comfortable and they're easy to put on. You also want to pop on some mascara just to blend in her natural lashes with the false lashes, especially if her hair is a little lighter than the lashes. So because I don't have every color in my kit, I usually like to mix and match a lot of foundations, and then I just take a little bit of what I mixed up and just add that to the client's jawline just to make sure that was the right color. And for this I'm using the ColourPop foundation. I think I used one, but it wound up matching it wound up matching her skin color. I'm just applying that with a Real Techniques brush. I forget what brush is this, but I usually add the foundation on with this brush. And because this foundation is a little streaky, I just add it on to her entire face, and then I go in with the sponge just to make sure everything is nice and blended. For concealer, I think I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me and just adding that to her under eye area. But I thought that was a little bit too light and a little bit too on the pink side, so I added some of that same foundation just to make it look more yellow toned. And then I went in and just blended that out with the sponge. I went in with this warm Graftobian foundation palette and just added that to her forehead and her cheek area just to warm up her skin a little bit. And I used that same brush just to start blending it out. Then I went in with the sponge and I made sure everything else was blended out, because you want to make sure, well, you want to be on the safe side, because if you put powder on top of it, you're not going to be able to blend out any of the like harsh areas that you forgot, or maybe it wasn't blended enough. To contour and to set that warm cream color, I used the Anastasia contour kit. I just forgot which color this was because it was like a custom made kit that I had bought, and I just added that everywhere I put the cream foundation on. And then again, just going back in with the beauty sponge and just making sure everything is well blended. And before I set her under eye area, you want to make sure everything is blended, all the creases are out before you actually put the setting powder on. After that, I just went in with some of the same powder and just added that to the rest of the face. I'm going to take that dark purple shadow and some of the black and just add that to the lower lash line. And I'm going to use this flat detail brush. I like using the flat one because I feel like you could get more close to the lash line, and then going in with a pencil brush after just to blend it out. For blush, I'm using this La Femme blush. It's sort of like in between a beige and a pink and a peach, I guess. I don't know. But I'm using that with a angled blush brush and adding that and blending that out on her cheeks. For bronzer, I'm going in with Benefit's Hoola Bronzer and that same angled blush brush. You could use this brush because of the angle and it's not too fluffy, so it will get right into that like contour and you could blend it out at the same time. For highlight, I'm using this MAC palette and just adding that highlight to her nose, her cupid's bow, forehead, and cheekbones. For people with dry skin, I actually like using a lot because you can get away with it with them because of their dry skin. For lips, I'm using ColourPop's Curvy Satin Liquid Lipstick and with a small lip brush and just adding that onto her lips. This is like a nudish color. It's like not too nude, so it gives like the right amount of color but doesn't wash her out. So now the last step, I am going to spray her with some MAC's Fix Plus. This is not really a setting spray, but I like using it to make the powders and everything just melt onto her skin. Then I just went in with some mascara on the lower lashes. So this is the finished look on my client. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I see you on my next makeover.